Hi guys, do you remember the time that I made a video about Toronto? And the time I made a video about the Statue of Liberty? And now like the video just posted tonight about the world map 1 year on? In all of those videos, and many more, there are people who are genuinely Mandela affected, who have a different memory than I do, and who get upset when I put forth what I remember. But what I'm trying to say is I'm not fighting with anybody in the Mandela affected community. And I believe you 100,000,000% that you're telling me what you have witnessed all your life. But I ask the same respect back, because I am putting forward what I remember from my lifetime. And you know, you can argue and say, well, it has to be this way or it has to be that way. And I can argue and say it has to be this way, it has to be that way. But I've come into this understanding that we're from different base realities. I don't believe that there's somebody else that's Mandela affected that their memories are more correct than mine, or my memories are more correct than theirs. There are very few people who are from the exact same place. I've seen like one girl that was in the comments of Bluebeard, of one of his videos, and she described exactly my base reality. But for the most part, even Bluebeard it's not the exact same as my base reality. His reality had Torad and mine doesn't, but apart from that, it was like pretty close. There's some differences still, because he made a map of his base reality, and it's quite different, especially in Europe. His base reality is quite different than what my base reality was. In like the maps that I've made, like the Photoshop ones that I've made to show like my base reality of what I've grown up looking at all my life. I don't think this is something that we should all be arguing about in the community. I think that we should just understand that we are from different places, and there's nothing wrong with that. And nobody has to be right and everyone has to be wrong. Like, that was the old way of thinking, absolutely. But I'm afraid we find ourselves beyond that now. Like, the old way of thinking was one person's correct and the other isn't. But if you have people coming from different realities, then you have several people who were correct from their base reality, who maybe all those people are now incorrect because the new reality that we're in here says something entirely different. And I know it's, you know, a head spinner, but I just want to let everybody know I'm not fighting with anyone, I'm not warring with anyone, I'm not telling anybody they're wrong. I believe you, you're right. But I'm also telling you 100% I am putting forth what I remember, because if I don't, I will forget it. And when you forget your base reality, basically your past is gone, because you're not going to find residue of it here. And that makes me a little sad, but yeah, all I have are like my memories of it. I may never see it again, so I want to document it in videos. I don't care if 100,000,000 people tell me I'm wrong. I don't care, just for me and myself, and for the couple of people out there who might remember it similar enough to me, or one or two people out there who remember it exactly the same as me. It's important for us to document it, because 1 year on, my memory's already fuzzy. 2 years on, it'll be even fuzzier. 3, 4, 5 years, I probably won't remember it all. It'll probably be just gone from me. And that's just something we have to deal with in this ever-changing new frontier of thinking. Even with experiments, like scientific experiments, general experiments, how can you experiment on, and like, how can you prove reality through experimentation when the results of your experiment may not stay the same from day to day? You know what I'm saying? Like, the old way of like thinking and of proving things and of coming with one definite answer, those things are not reliable if you are living in a kind of like a parallel that switches. Especially if history can switch, land masses can switch, people can switch, anything can switch. You have to think of new devices, new modes of thinking to interact with your surroundings and make it logical. You have to be super open-minded and super flexible. It's a challenge, but it's not one that's beyond us. So anyways, I just want to put that out there. I am sorry if I made anybody mad with that video. Well, I'm telling the truth, and I believe that you are telling the truth as well. And that's all I gotta say. Okay, thank you guys.